New Orleans, a city that's seen its fair share of hardship, right?
Oh, yeah.
From hurricanes to economic struggles, this city knows resilience.
And spirit.
Exactly, spirit. But what happened on Bourbon Street this New Year's Day? Well, it's a whole new level of challenge.
A real test.
And you, our listeners, you want to understand this attack, go deeper than the headlines, and that's what we're here for.
This deep dive, we're going beyond just what happened.
We're looking at what it means for New Orleans and maybe even for the whole country.
Heavy stuff, no doubt.
It is.
We're dealing with something truly horrific here, so we're sticking to the facts, what we know from the news reports you sent.
Right. Got to be careful, not jump to conclusions. Trying to make sense of this chaos piece by piece.
You know, usually the Sugar Bowl is pure celebration in New Orleans.
Such a big deal for the city.
Right, but this year, it turned into, well, you know...
Tragedy.
In fear, chaos.
The city's still recovering from so much, the hurricanes, the economy.
And now
a new kind of hit, you know?
It's that disruption to everything. Daily life turned upside down. Increased security everywhere you look. Events canceled. That feeling in the air, you know?
Yes, it's heavy.
That feeling, that's the invisible wound terrorism leaves behind.
You said it. It's almost hard to believe. You think of New Orleans, you think parades, music, joy.
Right.
And now this brutal attack. It's hard to reconcile those images.
Yeah, look, let's go back to the beginning. New Year's Day. Bourbon Street is packed, people celebrating, right?
Right in the heart of it all.
And then, out of nowhere, this pickup truck just plows into the crowd.
Just like that.
Then the guy driving, he starts shooting at the police. Total chaos.
Before they finally...
They took him down, yeah, but 16 lives lost.
16, including the attacker himself.
And so many more injured. We've seen this kind of thing before, sadly.
It's becoming too common, too normal.
Way too much.
And then what they found in that truck, that's where things get even more complicated.
Oh, yeah.
Guns, obviously, that was expected. But
An explosive device.
That could have been so much worse.
Thank God it didn't go off.
But the thing that really, really sent chills down my spine.
The ISIS flag.
That one detail, it changes the whole picture.
It makes you wonder, right? Are we seeing a change? Are we moving from those lone wolf attacks?
The ones we've been used to.
Right, to something more organized. Terrorism with international links right here in the U.S.
It's a huge question.
And that's exactly what the FBI is trying to figure out right now.
You know, that explosive device, for me, that's what really stands out, that level of planning.
It's not just spur of the moment, right?
Not at all. This was thought out.
It's unsettling. The FBI is pulling out all the stops.
Really going deep.
Forensics, digital footprints, you name it.
International cooperation, intelligence sharing.
Trying to trace any connection this guy might have had, any network, anything.
And we know the driver was Shamsud-Din Jabbar.
42 years old, Army vet from Texas.
Which that just adds another layer to this whole thing, doesn't it?
It does, but,
yeah,
you know, maybe we need to pump the brakes a little.
On what?
On the ISIS connection. I mean, just because there is a flag, does that automatically mean he was part of something bigger?
It's easy to jump to that conclusion.
Right. Could be misdirection, you know, or maybe he was just inspired by them, but no actual direct link.
Taking their ideas, but not their orders.
Exactly. And those are the little details, the nuances that the investigators are really wrestling with.
It's going to take time to sort all that out.
It will.
And meanwhile, the people of New Orleans are left to deal with the aftermath.
Picking up the pieces.
Postponing the Sugar Bowl. I mean, that's a huge deal culturally for the city.
Says a lot about the impact this has had.
More than just the physical damage.
Right. But, you know, what's really amazing is how the community is responding. Families and friends of the victims, they're coming together, holding memorials, supporting each other.
Powerful to see.
It shows that even in the darkest moments, there's still light.
And that's New Orleans, isn't it? They know how to celebrate life.
Even while they grieve. You know, this whole event, it raises so many questions for all of us. How do we make public spaces safer without turning them into fortresses?
Without sacrificing the things that make them public spaces.
Exactly. And how do we get to the root of extremism?
I'll stop it before it starts.
These are tough questions, no easy answers, but we gotta ask them.
We can't ignore them.
Yeah.
So this deep dive, it was about understanding what happened in New Orleans.
The facts on the ground.
But it's also a jumping off point for bigger conversations.
For all of us to think about.
Explore these questions. Keep digging, because finding solutions, that's on all of us.
It is.
It's our responsibility as citizens, as humans.
Absolutely.
Keep asking those tough questions, keep searching for those answers, and keep the conversation going.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's what this deep dive is all about.
That's what it's all about.